Hi, this is Corina Angela, and I channel the higher heart. Thank you for connecting with me, and thank you for subscribing to my YouTube channel here. Really appreciate that you're here. So here, I love to deep dive into channeling, channel writing, and really connecting to your higher heart, to the higher heart. So within this video that I would like to share a little background, but as well as what my process is and what has been brought forth this morning as I was channeling and channel writing. I've been a channeler for many years. I've been on this spiritual path for 42 years. And when I was 7, my gifts started coming in. I didn't know it at the time, but claircognizant came in, just a clear knowing things that I had no idea how I knew. And then clairvoyance came in, seeing things, seeing energies, and so on and so forth. And then seeing my great-grandmother that had passed, seeing her clear as day walk by my bedroom door. So it all started between 7 and 9. And so I've been on this path for a very long time. I chose the modality of writing to make sense of it all. So I submerged myself into writing and have been channel writing for many years. Through that, channeling would come up as well. And trance channeling, as well as channeling beings, spirits, masters, you name it, they would just tap in. I view it clairvoyantly through my third eye, second sight, whatever you'd like to call it, as actual channels. At first I didn't really resonate with the actual word channeling, but then when they showed me it's actually streams of consciousness coming in. And whatever you're dialed into or tapped into or open to, the higher heart, it's just a stream of consciousness to me. And it comes in, and then I see the person or being or whoever would like to come through. So that's how I describe it. It's very simplistic. But again, I've been doing this for many years, and it's become more clear as the years have gone on. And I myself have struggled with this for a long time to actually speak about it and articulate my words and get in alignment with my truth, who I truly am. So it's been this long journey, and I'm so excited and grateful to be here, be present, be now, in the now, and really bringing up this information and sharing the amazing wisdom, because we have amazing wisdom within inside ourselves, inside and outside. So to tap into that and tap into all that amazing wisdom that is accessible to all of us is miraculous in itself, and to be open to it and to embrace it. Absolutely embrace this time of creating transformation, because that's what we're doing every day in our lives. And why not open up to the higher heart and really receive it? So that's the place I'm at right here and right now, is really receiving, absolutely being in the receptive mode, and sharing out this amazing wisdom, sharing out the clarity that comes through, sharing out the ideas that come through, being in alignment with my truth. So I'm Corina Angela. I'm a channeler of the higher heart, and how I view it clairvoyantly is just really surrendering into it and tapping into the higher heart. It's this infinity of love, like really just incredibly deep, deep, deep love, way beyond unconditional love. It's just the way. It's hard to explain. Got to work on my articulation there. So, and this will come. So I wanted to share what came up this morning as I was channeling. I channel, write, and channel every morning. I get up at 4 o'clock in the morning and I channel anywhere from 2 to 3 hours every morning. And for me, it feels like 5-10 minutes. But I'm very cognizant of writing down the times, and it's usually 2 to 3 hours. So that's my process. And I'll explain maybe more in detail in another video of what my actual process is, and share with you at that time. But here right now, I wanted to share what transferred, the transference that came in, the wisdom that came in. I was channeling Mother M this morning, Mother Mary, and I've channeled her for a very long time. And she came in and she was teaching me about the different ways that you can intercept the ways of connecting with your heart on different variations, different levels, let's say. And knowing the higher heart is the highest of hearts. And as human beings here, we tend to dial down, right? She showed me like these levels, just levels of the heart. It was really interesting. And how we can tend to pull away right as we're ascending, right? Right as we're going to the next level, let's say. And it's not really levels, but let's just say it's energy. It's all energy. It's vibration, okay? But for us to actually see it, in our mind's eye, to actually see it vocally, verbally, as I'm sharing here, you can see it as layers. If you draw, if you're a painter, you can draw it as layers, right? Excuse me. And how often do we pull away, right? How often do we pull away just as we're ascending, just as we're on the verge of, opening up to something bigger than ourselves, okay? So this is what happened this morning when I was channeling with her. And we were in this beautiful landscape. It was, ocean, lots of trees around, the sand. It was just very serene, very beautiful. And then for a split second, I went into doubt. It wasn't fear-based at all. It's never fear-based, but I went into doubt, like almost a question like, really, is this really happening? Okay. And within that second, she pulled me out of where we were and went to this other place. And there was nothing around. It was just nothing. It was, it was just energy. That's how I'll describe it. It was just energy. And she looked at me in my eyes, and she just, she was like right here, looking at me in my eyes. And she said, get out of your head and get back into your heart. And immediately I shifted right back into my heart. And then we were back. We were back in the with the trees and the ocean and the sand and all of that. So right there, it's a huge shift of what we can do with our thoughts. Thoughts are things, thoughts are vibration, right? So how can we better tap into that and be more cognizant of that? And when you get a big shift like that, it's like, it resonates within your body. It's like, and it happened for me quickly. So just wanted to share that. And then being the fact that it is 9/11, we traveled to places. We were with women, especially that had lost their husbands. And she was just consoling them and put her arms around them. It was just so beautiful. And I was just witnessing this and watching. And there was this woman, she made this little shrine. Yeah, it was just really beautiful. It was this shrine of her husband, and she was, crying and not deeply saddened. Her sadness had lifted, But there was still a sense of that loss, you know, that sense of he's not there anymore, right? So I just saw Mother M just wrapping her arms around her, and it was just so beautiful and lovely. And we traveled to several places within New York City and doing the same thing. So she was just, you know, with them and loving them and being compassionate. And it was just really beautiful. It was just gorgeous. And the energy was so light and beautiful and just embracing, right? So then we went ahead and that was it of our channeling together. And I like to call it journeying. I journey in journeys, but it's, you know, it's channeling as well. So it really doesn't matter what words you put into it. It's just, you know, you are channeling, you are with that person, and they are teaching you. They are opening your heart more and more for more information to come through, right? So after we traveled together, Ralph Waldo, Emerson. Ralph Emerson. He just came in as Emerson, and not his full name, which was really interesting. And he came in as a younger version. And I had asked the question about, I'm a channel writer, and I'm channeling this book with Edgar Cayce right now, and Gladys Turner. And we finished the first book, and now we're writing the second book together. And that in alone in itself has been just a phenomenal, fascinating journey. And I'll share more of that in another video. But I had asked the question about his writing. I asked for someone to come through. Now, these are my words. These are my thoughts as I'm channeling, of things that I would like to know or be enlightened or want to learn about. So I project that vibration out. And it was all about writing. Like, how can I deepen my writing? How can I connect more with my writing, with my channel writing? But in particular, I asked for some guidance within the writing structure, okay? So Emerson came up, and the dates came up. Really interesting, but specific dates. So specific dates and times come up for me, and I write them down. But specifically what came up this morning was the date 1818. First came up 1817, and then 1818. So very significant time. And don't mind my chicken scratch, but this is how it comes out for me. It's a little wild and crazy, but so anyway, so I'm going to just kind of refer to this because I found it very fascinating, very interesting. And then after all the info, so I'm very scientific. I'm very right-brained and left-brained. I can't just take it out of the air and go, oh, okay, I need proof. I need to solidify it. I need to ground the information that sometimes comes forth for me. So when Emerson appeared, I immediately, you know, it was like, oh, I'm going to be channel writing, but as well as, you know, retaining for recall, you know, so that I click into that mode, and then I click into the mode of, after I channel with him or whoever, you know, I'm channeling with, I'm going to be channel writing, and then I gather the information, write it down here in my notebook, and then I research it. So then I hop on my phone, and then I'm researching what came up. Okay, so that's part of my process. Anyway, so 1817 came in and 1818, but specifically 1817 and 1818 were circled. And so then afterwards I looked up, because I didn't even know when Emerson lived, honestly. I haven't really read anything, not in detail about him. You know, I just knew he was an amazing poet and writer, and all that, what we learn in school, right? But specifically, I looked up, you know, when he was born, when he died. So he was born in 1803 and died in 1882. So the significance of the 1817 came in when he was 14 years old, and that's when he went to Harvard. He went to Harvard College Ministry School, and within 14 and 15, he really tapped into his writing and just really became immersed in his studies and poems and poetry, and really just started expanding. So that was the significance of those years for him. And as I was channeling him, and what was being brought forth was balance and structure, very important. It was very important for him to have that balance and have that structure. He was very focused in on his poetry and writing, but also in his transformational sense, very spiritual. It was very guided, very transcendental. So he immersed himself in transcendence, which is fascinating. I just lit up when I read that, and when I wrote it down. But then, yeah, just connecting the dots, right? But also in that time, he submerged himself into India philosophy. So I found that really fascinating between 1817 and 1818. And then for the couple of years after that as well. So within this process, I thought, oh, okay, this is really interesting to me. But balance and structure, going back to balance and structure, and how important that is in our lives here and now, here today, and how can we implement balance and structure more in our lives, and doing what we came here to do, being true to ourselves, but then bringing in those elements of the balance and the structure in our modern world, really. And also to getting the support that we're needed, that we need here, to really be welcoming of that support. So that was really important. And then let's see, what else came up? Yeah. Oh, and look to the constellations. That came up really early on in the channel session that I had this morning. Constellations, how often do we look upon the stars? How often are we really connected? So really connecting more with the constellations, and for validation. So that's what came up as well. And so in conjunction with the full moon coming up on Friday the 13th, as we approach Friday the 13th, the full moon, how can we better connect to the constellations and really connect with the validation that is there, because it's all there in the vibrations and all of that. So just wanted to share a little snapshot of what came up this morning as I was channeling and channel writing, and to share out this information. Perhaps it resonated with you, perhaps you're curious. My philosophy is always keeping a curious mind with a curious heart, and just really having that connection with both of the structure and the balance, and bringing it up and out, and then really connecting to the higher heart and to that those amazing vibrations, and how better can we connect to ourselves and be more true to ourselves every day that we're here, each and every day, right? And I've been talking a lot this morning, so I've been, sorry, raspy throat. So yeah, dive into that. Perhaps it resonated with you. Perhaps there was a light bulb moment. Perhaps you would like to do some research on something. It's just when you're sharing this amazing information and the wisdom that comes forth, there's a huge opening that happens, you know, when we're tapping in. If you're a meditator, if you meditate every day, if you do yoga, if you're in silence, if you are walking, if you are moving your body, if you're dancing, if you're singing, if you're using your amazing voice, whatever capacity that you are creating transformation in your life and you are aligned and connected to, that opens up a channel, right? It's those streams of consciousness that come in and are just available to everyone. It's up to us to tap into that because it's all readily available to us. So how better can we connect into that amazing information to widen our capacity to love even deeper, to do even more, to be who we truly are, to bring out the amazement that we are, to bring out the truth and to stand in our truth, right? And be who we truly are. So as we evolve, as this is, as this is transforming in our lives, how can we piece it all together? It's like pieces of the puzzle. Perhaps sometimes we get 2 or 3 pieces to the puzzle. Perhaps we get 1, right? Perhaps we get 0, right? That's okay. Keep working on the puzzle, right? Keep working on the puzzle. Keep working on the puzzle. We're going to work and move forward, right? Working forward, being in the now, being present with all there is. And not tapping into the woulda, coulda, shouldas, not tapping into but, or or doubt or fear or any of that, because it doesn't serve us, right? And to go back into what Mother M shifted for me and helped me see clearly, but also to feel it in my body. The minute I doubted, and it was a split second, look what happened. It's just like, look at that. Look what happened. That split second, beep, and then that shift back into your heart. Get back into your heart, right? And it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what other people are saying or liking or not liking, or it doesn't matter. It really doesn't. What is it for you? What lights you up? What invigorates you? What empowers you, right? What puts a smile on your face? That's coming back to source, right? That's coming back to core. That's coming back to center. Then that's where the balance and the structure is all created, because you have that foundation. You know who you are. You're being true to yourself, right? Then you bring up and out the balance and the structure and creating whatever you would like to create in the world. Good stuff. Thank you. Thank you for tuning in. Really appreciate it. If you have any comments, questions, please feel free to reach out to me. Thank you for subscribing to this YouTube channel. Really appreciate it. And yeah, thank you for being on this journey. It's a wondrous journey. And I'm so happy that I am here with you all and standing in my truth and being who I truly am. And it feels really great. It feels really great. And how can you too, right? How can you too be in that vibration? All right. Until later, thank you so much and enjoy your day.